Alright friends, so that's all about the different options that you have in order to connect a new source system to Power BI. And now we're gonna move to a special type of connection. We have the live connection. So what is that? We're gonna use this type, the live connection, if we are connecting Power BI desktop directly to a shared semantic model in the Power BI service. So to understand what this means, we're gonna have a look to how things works behind the scenes. So now let's have a look again to our high level architecture. And now our picture gonna change a little bit. Now let's say that you are doing usual stuff where you connected some files into Power BI desktop, you have built the model and the visuals, and now you want to share it with the others by publishing everything. So you're gonna publish everything that you have built from Power BI desktop to Power BI service in the Microsoft Cloud. So that all the three layers gonna be copied, the data, the model, and the visuals. And you're gonna have all those three stuff in the service. Now by looking to this, your data exists in three places: in the original files, in the Power BI desktop, and as well in the Power BI service. Now here comes something important, how the interaction gonna happen in the service. The visual gonna go to the model, and the model gonna go to the local copy in the service. So it will not go back to the desktop. And the local copy in the service gonna be providing the data for the visuals. And of course, if you want to refresh the data in the service, you can connect, of course, the sources directly with it without having the desktop in between. So you can refresh the data, and of course, you can create schedules for that. And now here comes the most important point to understand. The data and the model, we call it a semantic model, and this is a shared one because you published it to the service. And now the thing is, each report needs a model behind it. And if you go and build a model from the scratch for each report you are building, this is actually one of the worst practices because building the models needs always a lot of efforts, and you're gonna end up repeating the same things over and over. So instead of that, what we can do, we build one strong semantic model, we share it in the service and start reusing it. So with that, you can build multiple reports on top of the same model, and this can speed up the process of creating new reports, and you avoid repeating and rebuilding the same logic over and over. So now in order to create a report on top of already existing semantic model, we're gonna use the Power BI desktop, and we're gonna connect it directly to this shared semantic model, and we call this connection as a live connection. So now your Power BI desktop gonna be very small. There is no longer need for the data layer or the model layer because they already exist in the service, and you only work with the visual layer. So all what you have to do is to just build the reports. So now how things gonna work: if you create or interact with the visual inside Power BI desktop, a request gonna send to the model in the service, and then of course it depends whether you are using import or direct query inside the service. Either it can use a local copy or it has to go back to the source system in order to get data. And once the model has data, it's gonna send it back to Power BI desktop. So now by looking to this picture, you are using at the same time Power BI desktop and service. And of course we can go and close the cycle if you go and publish this report to service. So this time you are only publishing one thing, the report. Of course, Power BI will not duplicate the semantic model again. So again, you build things using Power BI desktop, and then you publish it to the Power BI service in order to share your work. But you can connect it back to Power BI desktop if you want to reuse the shared semantic model. And then if you go and publish again, you will be publishing only the reports. So I hope this makes sense, and this is something that we keep using in projects. This is how the live connection works. Okay, so now I totally understand if this is totally confusing because maybe you have never done like real projects in industry. In order to understand it, you have to experience the whole process end to end. And for that, we need two roles. The first one is like you are a developer and you are building something from the scratch. So you start connecting new source system, build a visual and share it in the Power BI service. And the second role is you are a business user where you're gonna reuse the things that are already published and shared. And with that, you're gonna understand exactly what I'm talking about. So now let's start with the first role. You are a developer and you're gonna start building something from the scratch using Power BI. Let's go. So now, which data we will be connecting? This time we're gonna go to this folder, the monthly sales. And here we have 12 CSV files because this is what happens in real companies. Sometimes we generate multiple files for the same structure like the sales. But because we generate those files on monthly basis, we end up having 12 files, but all having the same structure. together. Now it's gonna be a really struggle if you go and connect them one by one. There is a smarter solution in Power BI. So I'm gonna show you now another way on how to connect multiple files in one go. So now let's open blank report. We don't have anything. Go to get data and then to more. Now, since they are files, we're gonna go to the file. This time we will not check the CSV. We're gonna say I'm gonna connect a whole folder. So the whole thing and then connect. Now you have to give the path of the file or you have to browse it and click around. I have the path already. So, okay. Now this is interesting one. In the preview, Power BI I'm gonna show you the metadata informations of each file, but not the data itself like we saw in the database and the Excel. So I see, okay, those are the file names, the extension, when they are created, and the path for it. But I don't see the data inside it because Power BI don't know yet what to do with those files. And it says they are content, binary content inside it. Now what we can do, we can tell Power BI, okay, go and combine them all in one table. And this is exactly what this new nice option tells us, combine. So let's try this out. Now it's gonna say, do you want to combine and transform or just combine and load? Well, we don't want to do any extra steps. We will just combine and load. So let's click on that. So it didn't load yet the data inside Power BI. And here you can check whether the files are okay and so on. If everything is fine, you're gonna say, okay. And now Power BI starts to do two things, combining the data and as well loading it. So it went fast because the files are small. And now if you go to the model, you will find only one table. We will not find 12 tables because everything is merged together. And if you go to the table view, you're gonna find now all the content of those 12 files. And Power BI is nice to tell you the source name. So for each record, I know exactly from which file it came. And then if we go to the report view, now we can make some nice visual. Like for example, let's take the line chart. Let's bring it here in the middle. I'm gonna take the order date for the first axis. And then let's take the sales. So total sales by date. Now we can see a small dot in the middle because we have only 1 year. The granularity is really high. That's why we're gonna drill down to the next level. So this is the quarter and then click again. You go to the month. So that's it. This is my job. I prepared everything, connected the files to Power BI, let's say done some transformation and build a view. So everything is built and ready. So now usually the next step, I'm gonna go and share it to Power BI service and tell everyone about it. So let's go and do that. Of course, we have to save our work first. I'm gonna call it monthly sales because it is based on the sales. So I'm gonna save it. And then we're gonna go to this nice icon, publish. Make sure that you are logged in order to see your workspace. And then gonna select my workspace. And now Power BI is moving everything from the desktop to the service. So my data, the model, the visual, everything is moving there to the cloud. So now if we log into the Power BI service, app.powerbi.com, make sure that you are in my workspace. And now we can see the thing that I just published, the monthly sales. And here I can see two things, the report and as well the semantic model. So now let's check the report. We can see again our total sales by the order date. This is our nice visual. But if I go back, we see the semantic model. This is very important. Not only I'm sharing my analysis, I'm sharing as well the data behind this report. And here inside it, if you click on it and then you go over here and say explore this data, you can see again the monthly sales. This is the combined 12 CSV files in one place. If you need to work with those CSV files, it is now available online. I have connected the whole thing. You don't have to do it again. And now let's say one of the colleagues came to you and say, nice, I am from the business department and I would like to do some analysis using your data sets. So now we're gonna switch roles and now you are the business user that will just build a report and will not connect anything from scratch. So I'm gonna now reuse everything that the developer done. So now let's see how we're gonna do it. So me as a business user, I'm gonna go and open again blank report in Power BI desktop and I'm gonna face the same issue. Everything is empty and I need data. Of course, I will not go to the folder and start connecting the CSV files. I'm gonna reuse what is already existing in the Power BI service, but the steps are very similar. So you're gonna go to the get data and then we go to more. I just want to show you where it is. And then you go to the Microsoft Fabric and here we have this connector, Power BI semantic models. So So click on it and say connect. Now I'm gonna see all the semantic models that exist in the service. Of course, the one that I have an access to it. If you don't see it, then you have to ask the developer to give you an access to the semantic model. If you have an access, then you're gonna see it exactly here. And in real projects, there's gonna be a really long list of a lot of shared models. Make sure to check the location. But now I have only two, the monthly sales and the my first dashboard that you have done in the first video. So those are the shared semantic models. And for this example, we're gonna connect to the monthly sales and then say connect. So it went very fast because Power BI has to load only few stuff about the structure of the data model, but the data is not loaded here, and as well the whole data model, the calculations and all stuff that you have inside the semantic model, everything is not loaded as well. You just have the structure of the table. And if you already noticed, I have here few views. So we have the model view and as well the report view, but the table view disappeared because now the model is fixed. It is frozen. I cannot do any changes here. And you can see this nice small icon. It is like a web and you have like two directional arrow. That means I'm getting the data from the web, from the service. It's not directly from the source system or from a local copy using the imports, and I cannot do any data manipulations or any changes. The only thing that now I can do is actually just building a report and a visual. So it is very limited if you are using the live connection to semantic model. And this is the whole purpose. Now I'm just building one thing, the report. So now let's go and build something new like a bar chart here in the middle. I'm gonna take the order dates, but this time I'm gonna check the number of orders over the time. So I'm gonna take the order ID and drop it in the visual. Again, the granularity is gonna be the year. So we have to drill down and one more drill to the month. So with that, I have a nice report about the total orders over the time. As you can see, as a business user, things went very fast, just 2-3 clicks, and now I have a visual without preparing anything. Now I am proud about what I have built, and I would like to share it as well with my other colleagues. So of course we can do that, but first you have to save the work. So I'm gonna call it monthly orders and then save the work. And now I'm gonna go and hit here publish. The same thing in the same order. I'm gonna publish it in the same workspace and then hit select. Now Power BI is not publishing everything again, so it will not share the semantic model, the data itself. It is just publishing one thing, the visual. That's why it went very fast, and we can check that in the workspace. So now if you go back to the workspace, here is the big difference. We can see only one thing, the report. There is no semantic model called monthly orders. So as you can see, as you publish using the live connection to semantic model, you publish only the visual, and of course Power BI will not duplicate the semantic model. Now if I click on it, I'm gonna be very proud of my visual and share it with the others. And now there is something really interesting. So go back to the workspace. Now the thing is, if you have a lot of people working in your project and everyone is publishing, your developers are creating new semantic models, things might get out of control and you don't know anymore where this report come from, which data is used, and everything gonna be confusing. That's why Power BI solved it in very elegant way using something called the Lineage. If you go to the right side, you have here a very nice icon called Lineage View. So click on it and now we get something really nice. I can see the full picture end to end using cards and arrows, which can explain everything. Like for example, if you start from the right side, you can see the monthly sales and the monthly orders. Those two reports are actually connected to the same semantic model. So with that, I understand, those two reports are getting the same data. And at the same time, I'm going to understand as well, if I do changes to this semantic model, it's going to go and affect multiple visuals. So it raises the awareness to be careful with the changes now. And of course, if I ask myself where the data come from for this semantic model, I can go back one step and I can see, it's comes from a folder. So you can see easily the data source behind the semantic model. Now, of course, if things explode and you have a huge, let's say, map, you can click on this nice icon over here and it's gonna highlight the lineage exactly for this report, and everything else gonna be grayed out. So it is really nice and I love this one, especially in big projects. It's really explain everything. So this is the whole story. This is why we use the live connection to already existing semantic model. It is a nice thing to reuse stuff that is already built and not to try to reinvent the wheel.